All right, for this week's pick of the week, we're going to focus on three distinct currency pairs: the Great Britain Pound USD, the Swiss franc USD, and then also the Great Britain Pound CHF, or the Pound franc. Now, the reason why we're going to focus on these three pairs is, number one, we're going to have a BOE interest rate decision on Thursday. We're looking for that quarter-point rate cut, so we do expect the pound sterling to be active. So that's the first reason. Number two is that we've got tariff issues. We've got big-time tariff issues right now. 39% is being pledged against Swiss exports to the United States. That is absolutely huge. I mean, so if you're going to go buy a watch or some chocolate, or perhaps another one of those big-time exports out of Switzerland, you're going to pay an extra 39%. Now, remember, tariffs are sort of like negotiating tools, so we don't really know what's going to happen until those tariffs are actually put into place. So as of filming, as of right now, aftermarket on Monday, we're not necessarily sure if those are going to come to pass, but August 7th is a big day for tariffs, and a lot of us are really interested in how exactly this is going to move forward here between the United States and most of the EU countries. So we're going to focus on those three currencies. Those are our picks of the week. Let's go ahead and break you down some technicals and see exactly where we're at. Okay, the first pair that we're going to look at here on our MT5 platform, powered by Switch Markets, is going to be your Great Britain Pound USD. Now, this was a level that we pointed out sort of over the last week or so, really pointed this one out several occasions. And the reason why we did is it's a monthly retracement level, a monthly Fibonacci retracement level, really working from this spike low to this spike high. Really a beautiful uptrend there for about 5 months, and then the big correction that we had in July. So now August, we're off and running for August's trade. And what did we see? We saw immediately a test of that 38% and then a bounce up. So right now the monthly low for August is right around 131.41, and our 38% level is right around that 131.50 area. So that was a fantastic trade if you got that one. But right now we're still looking at that same level as being hugely important. Do we believe the pound is going to go up or down? That's hard to say. It really does depend on what the BOE, how they impact the market. Number one, with the rate cut, and number two, with their forward guidance. What are we thinking as far as economic prowess? What are we thinking the BOE is going to do the rest of the year? Right now, that's an absolute crapshoot. Nobody's really sure what we're going to get on Thursday, but that's going to be the big-time market driver for the Great Britain Pound USD. Okay, our second pick of the week. Let's go on over to our TradingView platform. This is going to be our US dollar Swiss franc. Now, as you can see, it really was a big Monday session. It was a big Monday session for risk assets, stocks. I do believe we even got a bit of we saw a bit of a rally in crypto, but right now crypto is sort of flat for that early Tuesday session. But right here, you can see the big rally. Typically, puts a lot of bearish pressure on something like the USD Swiss franc, or excuse me, on the Swiss franc itself. Why? Because if money's piling into stocks, it's probably coming out of francs, which is a traditional safe haven. So as we look across this one, this right here is our coded 920 EMA crossover strategy. I really like this one. It's very simple to use on the daily time frame. I think it's incredibly effective here on the daily for your Forex pairs. But right there was sort of a sell signal way back on the 21st of May, and we got our buy signal right here on the 30th of July. So right now you're officially looking to the long side of this market, really according with that 920 EMA crossover here for the dollar Swissie on the daily time frame. So we've looked at a monthly time frame, we've looked at a daily time frame. Why are we looking at the longer term time frames? Because when we have key events like tariffs or like a BOE interest rate announcement, we want to know exactly what the lay of the land looks like before the events come to pass. So the best way to do that, from my experience, is to identify your macro levels and understand which way the market is trending, if it is trending, and which way potentially we can assign a bias. Right now, I would have a long side bias on the US dollar Swiss franc. Now, is it sort of a huge commitment to the long side? Not really. I mean, we are looking at just a technical play here. We know we're going to get a tremendous amount of action with the announcements of the tariffs and the implementation of the tariffs. But remember, a trade deal, Trump is not above making the deal. I mean, it's the art of the deal, and he will definitely cut those 39% tariffs way down if the United States gets what they want out of negotiations with Switzerland. So a lot going on here. One thing that I would look at, there was your buy signal right up there. Our gold bar on our 920 EMA crossover is going to be your buy right around 81.50. Since then, we've sort of pulled back about 60 pips. But one thing I like to do is always reference my Fibonacci retracements with some of these other strategies, like a 9 EMA or a 920 EMA. And you can see we came right off to 50%, bounced off of that 20 EMA. I still like the bullish side of this market. Also downside support, keep a close eye on 80.72. That's a big time key level. And if this market does begin to fall apart, 80.11, that's a big Fibonacci level as well. And then 78% down there at 79.67. So pretty good stuff right there. I would have a slight bullish bias here on the US dollar Swiss franc. But once again, the tariffs will make the difference. The trade deals will make the difference. Okay, let's take a look at our last pair today, our pick to click, and that's going to be the Great Britain pound Swiss franc. This is much easier for our technical analysis. We've just identified a couple of key levels that have been in play for quite some time now. The first one is going to be 2025's low, which is this year's low, and you're going to have that right around 106.12. That's a key level. Be ready for anything right at 106 here on the pound Swissie. The reason why is big time long-term level, a key zone, an area of natural support right around 106. It will not shock me if 106 even perhaps draws some more bids out of the woodwork, but we're also ready for a breakout beneath that zone as well. And 2022's low, we're just sort of a stone's throw for that. That was established back in September of 2022, somewhere right in there. I would definitely have that on my radar down at 101.73. Now, are we going to go down to 101.73 this month or next month? No, probably not. But it's important that we understand the market structure. The long-term trend was definitely down. We've traded sideways in this pair, this pound Swissie, for quite some time, and now we're starting to threaten the bottom end of this range. I like that 106 level a lot, and I definitely have that 101.73 written down in my notes, so I could come back and reference that a little bit later this year as we need to. So there you have it. That's the U.S. dollar Swiss franc on the 920, slight bullish bias. Great Britain pound Swissie, big time support level right around 106. Maybe worth taking a bid on there. And then your Great Britain pound USD, have a bullish bias here as well. And then you've also got your 38% level. That's a big time zone for us. So even if you don't want to take positions on those biases, absolutely nothing wrong with that. Just keep a close eye on those support and resistance zones. Those are key levels that we always have to know exactly where they're at, especially when we have big time market events. All right, that's it. I can't wait to get trading this week. Those are our picks of the week. Be sure to trade well. We'll see you on our live streams, and we'll talk soon.